we are joined by Amazing after that win versus Millenium. Great job, and I want to ask you straight off the bat that you guys were going for that lane swap, 2 guys in the top lane, despite the changes. So why did you go for that in this case?
Well, we don't consider Millenium a coordinated team, so we just swapped into top to have some coordination from our side, and they had to answer it, and they didn't really do that. Like Shen had a decent farm, but got outfarmed by Renekton. I outfarmed Pantheon by a landslide, and I was far ahead of him, especially in XP. So that was our thought process behind it. We just forced coordination out of them.
So despite the 4.1 changes, obviously the big buffs in the top tower, the bottom tower, we were expecting the bottom tower to want to go down first, but instead you obviously went down and helped out your top laner considerably, or bottom laner as this was the case. Was it all in the plan? You just like, despite the buffs, despite the changes, you still felt comfortable taking that top tower first?
Well, we have a really good bot lane in terms of tower pushing. Like, Forgiven has always been one of the best tower pushes that has seen the game yet. I don't know. And therefore, we really feel confident in lane swaps since mostly we have good coordination when we do it. So, yeah, the comfort was on our side.
Yeah, so you focus on that bottom lane, and maybe some people thought that you would focus on that mid lane because we've heard that Talon can be a counter to that Kassadin if he gets going, but you guys didn't seem to think so.
Can be a counter, but he needs some jungle pressure, like from level 1 to 6. If he doesn't get a kill onto Kassadin, or maybe even 2, he won't be able to shut him down ever. So we don't really, we didn't really think about that matchup too much, and I think that counter was also comfortable in it.
And it seemed to me that one of the big turning points in the fights was when, for some reason, Kirk just went channeled completely for Unlimited, way back. Used everything on him, used his ultimate on. You guys all piled forward. Were you just expecting him to go for that? And I mean, you talked about how you knew they were uncoordinated. It just seemed they didn't know really where to focus.
I did not even know that Talon was going in. Like, I didn't expect it. I just saw him dying, like, suddenly. I don't know, like the uncoordination basically showed there, I don't know. Maybe it's just Kerb having a bad day or something like that, but I don't know, like that just seemed really off.
And following up on that, obviously there was a point where Aranea did the man drop, as is now known, the drop onto you guys. He actually jumped onto you on the tower when Unlimited and Forgiven were in range. He didn't go for them. Were you surprised by this? I mean, you were on the tower doing the basic attacks and he jumped on you instead of going for the AD carry.
Maybe he likes me, I don't know.
What I also wanted to ask you about in relation to those picks and the Pantheon on the other side, is there a time during the game where you look at the items and you realize, whoa, I am incredibly tanky right now, and Aranea just isn't at all? And what does that make you do if you see that?
Well, we actually, prior to this game, we watched the replays, and we always saw Aranea getting behind in his builds for some reason. He has some odd early game-ish builds where he rushes Ninja Tabby or something like that, which I don't really understand, but that's not my issue. I'm just trying to farm up, and then at some point I just see, like, I have a, what did I have? Ancient Golem or something like that, and a Randuin's, and a Sunfire. Well, I knew that I could go into every team fight and probably get out again, which is something that Aranea couldn't provide for his team.
And of course, you're now 3-2 in the LCS. You're playing Alliance again tomorrow. You've already got 1 victory over them. How are you expecting it to go now they've picked up their first victory this morning?
I expect a win on our side, but I don't want to corner myself. So I'll just see what happens and take the game as it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.